Hello there, my name is Lou Wieland, and I publish Community Profiles magazines that are distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service of Atlanta. The First Multiple Listing Services Atlanta is the organization that houses all the homes for sale for benefit of realtors to obtain the listings and obtain information necessary to do their work. They do the training and provide money supplies for all the realtors. There are about actually 60,000 agents that use that. FMLS is now expanding into Florida, Puerto Rico, Tennessee, and Alabama. So if you're an agent and you're watching this, you can get listings in those areas now as well. But anyway, it's the third largest listing service in the United States. Anyway, for the last 30 years, I've published Community Profiles, which is a magazine, a relocation guide. We have 4 different ones, one for Atlanta, one for North Fulton, one for Cobb, and one for Gwinnett. They are in all the brokerage offices and many of the chambers of commerce for realtors to pick up and give to their clients who are purchasing homes or businesses. There's plenty of information in there on businesses as well, and FMLS has also greatly increased its listings for commercial properties for lease and sale. So if you're an agent, be sure to consider listing your commercial properties there and also check it for commercial listings. The magazines are on the First Multiple Listing Service website and is on my website, atlantacommunityprofiles.com. We send the magazines out via email to the realtors weekly, a different one each week. So if you are a realtor and you're watching this and you're not getting the emails, please let me know at lou@communityprofiles.net. So that being said, every week we interview community leaders, people who are contributing to the well-being of the city and of the metro area. And today we're interviewing the mayor of the great city of College Park, Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. I met you, Mayor, recently, courtesy of some of my friends down on the south side of Atlanta. Vince introduced us at a function, I believe. But welcome to the show, Mayor. I know I've had other guests on the show before you were mayor from the city of College Park. Terrence Moore, for example, I think was on the show a few times. I don't know if you still see him or not, but if you do, be sure to tell him I said hello. Anyway, Mayor, you are certainly well qualified to be mayor. In fact, I was looking over your credentials. You're qualified to run for president of the United States, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
She is the 27th mayor of College Park, and she's the first female and first person of color to serve as mayor of the city. And she is from College Park. She's a Yankee.
I'm from Cleveland, yes. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland,
I'm a Yankee, yes.
And a Cleveland Browns fan, too. And somebody from the Falcons needs to talk to you, I guess. But anyway, I know it's in your bio that one of the things that you are really working on is new housing developments. But before we get into some of those things, I would like to just introduce you briefly. She is a lawyer. Don't hold that against her, right, please. But she was also a judge, and one of her hobbies is pottery, amateur pottery. She has a bachelor's degree from Duke and a Juris Doctorate at Washington, where she was recognized by her designation as the Webster Society Scholar. She also has an MBA with honors from Lake Forest Graduate School of Management. So it's quite a great educational background, and I'm sure you'll be a phenomenal asset leading your great city, especially with your great background. Let's see, you were a judge in Fulton County, a part-time judge in Fulton County Magistrate Court. So you've quite a interesting background, and I'm sure that will serve you well as mayor. I would like to just point out a couple things that are pretty impressive about College Park that everybody might not know about. The average sales price of homes in the Atlanta area year over year is up 14%, and the average sales price is $339,000. However, that's in College Park. I'm sorry, I made that wrong. The average sales price in College Park is $339,214. It's up 14%. The median is $350,000, which is up 27.3%, which is a big increase over the metro area. Well, the metro area, the average sales price is a little higher, but the increase year over year is only 2.8%. And the median for the entire metro area is $392 and only up 2.9%. So you are greatly way above the metro area in terms of price appreciation. Do you know what is there any particular reason for that? Or what is there? A lot of things cause price increases like that, but that's a very dramatic increase. What is there anything in particular responsible for that you can think of?
Well, first of all, Mr. Wieland, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. I think one of the things that has contributed to that is that people are looking south. They're recognizing the inherent value in looking south of I-20. And if you take a look at College Park and how we are geographically situated, I tell people all the time that we've got affordability, accessibility, and proximity. And so we are still under the average for the metro region in terms of home sale prices, but we have 2 MARTA stations in 11 square miles, one of those being the airport station and the other one being the downtown MARTA station. And if you want to get anywhere in Metro Atlanta, it's awfully easy to get there from here because we have accessibility to 285, 75, 85. There are multiple ways to get to wherever you want to be. So as quality of life becomes an even bigger factor in people making decisions about where they live, it's only natural that they're looking south, because if you are trying to find a place that is affordable and in decent proximity to the city core in Atlanta, College Park makes a heck of a lot of sense.
And public transportation is becoming more and more a key value because of the growing population of Atlanta. I think we're supposed to add as many new people as the entire city of Charlotte in the next 5 years or something crazy like that. So I know that will continue to contribute to the demand for housing in College Park and your proximity to downtown Atlanta and the access to the public transportation. The one interesting fact about your city that maybe people don't know is that you have the fourth largest historic district in the state of Georgia, which I'm sure brings a lot of people to on Saturdays and Sundays especially to look around in your great city and see some of the interesting points of interest.
We have an amazing historic character to our neighborhoods. And I was actually walking a couple of days ago when the weather was a little bit better. Today it's a little bit chilly, but a couple of days ago, as the trees were blooming and just walking down a couple of our streets in the historic district, it's just such an amazing place to be. It really is, because you can find a home that suits you, your lifestyle, your personality. And we've got houses. The first house I lived in College Park was built in 1920. And it had so much of the charm from that era. My husband and I now live in a home that was built in the 40s. So it's a little bit different, but it suits our needs at this point. And especially having those types of housing choices in addition to new housing stock that's being built in close proximity to Woodward Academy, which is the largest private day school in the continental U.S. It is so attractive for so many families, especially as our community is growing, changing. Our grocery store just got a huge revamp on Main Street, and it is a point of excitement for so many folks who frequent our community. It's just a really exciting time to be in College Park.
Another fact that people might not know is that the airport is in College Park. And the
Part of it,
largest
yes.
airport in the world happens to be in your backyard. Pretty interesting fact.
Indeed. The arrival, the departure gates, the T gates, the A gates, and the southern half of the B gates are in the city of College Park. So I always urge people, if you're gonna maybe sit down and have a drink before you get on your flight, do it in those areas, because we appreciate the tax revenue. But it has been a great relationship with the city of Atlanta and the folks at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, because we have to work together to make this all work. Because the types of things that we can build in our community is dependent upon the fact that we are in the shadow of the airport. So we have to work together as the city grows, as we develop things, as we're working on a project I know we'll talk about a little bit more, the 6 West project, which is basically right in the flight path along Camp Creek Parkway. So we have to build good relationships with our neighbors, and that is absolutely true with the city of Atlanta and the Department of Aviation.
Let's go ahead and hit that topic while we're on it, Mayor. What I've noticed that project. Tell us a little bit about that. When I'm down there going to the airport, tell us about that.
Sure. 6 West is a 300 plus acre mixed use development that we've been working on for a number of years now. It's getting close to almost a generation of work, honestly, because there was a point where a large portion of our community was bought out because of airport expansion, that those residences were in the flight path. So we have worked over the years to reassemble those parcels to put us in a position to make this development a reality. So we anticipate there's going to be different districts. On the northern end of it, we actually can incorporate some residential. It's a little over 50 acres on the residential end there, but we're going to have an entertainment district. We're hoping to have something that complements our historic 9-hole golf course that we have in the city that is city run as well. And so we're looking for maybe like a Top Golf type development there. We want a component of retail as well, and a corporate campus. So we are actively seeking people who are interested in developing those types of projects for 6 West. And one of the very exciting things that we've been working on in conjunction with it is a pedestrian bridge that will link 6 West to the Georgia International Convention Center campus, along with the Gateway Arena, which sits right next to the convention center. And our convention center is the second largest in the state and one of the few that's actually connected to an airport. You can land at Hartsfield-Jackson, take the SkyTrain, get to the convention center, be on the campus with a number of Class A hotels, and you never really have to leave. And so we pride ourselves on being a hospitality city. So it's very important to us as we develop 6 West to have that level of connectivity. And that pedestrian bridge will allow patrons of the GICC and the arena to cross Camp Creek Parkway safely and access all the great things that 6 West will have to offer.
And I might add, if you are here on a convention, it's easy to get to your golf course from the convention center, which is a key attraction for a lot of business meetings, to have an afternoon off to play a little golf or tennis.
Absolutely.
So that's great. And I know you have instruction over there too. I get emails from your golf course pro and periodically updating, because I love golf. I've been playing it pretty much my whole life. And so I do get the emails. I'm curious about what's going on. And I have some friends who've taken some lessons over there. There's so much to talk about, but one thing you've covered a lot already. But Wellstar has a facility there too. People are interested, obviously, in medical facilities as well as health and education. Tell us a little bit about your medical providers.
Well, actually, we are in talks right now with Northside. Northside is working to build a on the actual convention center campus. They are looking at doing a project there to increase access to primary care uh, services and the like. So we think that that's going to be an amazing asset as we move forward. As far as I know, I think it's Northside's first venture to the South Side. So uh, we are we are definitely excited about that. The Wellstar location is actually in East Point, so it has been a huge resource for the entire South Side. We are certainly looking at different options and trying to make sure that all of our residents have access to quality health care, and the transition of that facility from a full-fledged hospital to a forgive me, I'm losing the urgent care. That's what it is now. Has definitely been concerning for the community. In addition to the closure of AMC main campus as well. So it's something that all of us as city leaders have been working on and trying to come up with real solutions for some of the care access issues that are present on the South Side. And I know at least one of my council members is very, very excited about the prospect of perhaps having a healthcare provider on the land that is part of 6 West as well. So that's something that we would absolutely entertain.
On your website, you talk a little bit about affordable housing, and I take it that that is one of your priorities. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Absolutely. We have a project that is right next to our MARTA station downtown in College Park called the Diamond. It's at College Park. It is working, they're working in conjunction with our First United Methodist Church that's gone through some transition because as the church membership has dwindled, they recognize that they had a real asset in our city. They've been there for 125 years and they wanted to figure out how they could fine tune their actions to align with their mission and still remain a relevant force in our community. So what they did have a lot of was land. So they partnered with a number of developers who had the same vision as they did. And so the Diamond at College Park is part of that vision. So there's going to be 60 units right next to our MARTA station. And 50 of those will be at 50 to 60% of the area median income. And what I think is so important about that is that it allows for the people who work in College Park, our city employees and other folks who do so much on a daily basis to have a place to live in our community. And what I'd love to see is that opportunity for them to establish that first home base here in College Park, and then move on to purchasing one of our beautiful historic homes and having the opportunity to have housing for them at every stage and keep them in the community and keep them a vital part of how we keep on building the city that we deserve.
Also, you talk on this website, or you address on the site, the labor force in College Park. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
We are a community that is absolutely reliant on tourism, hospitality, and travel. And so we went through some real challenges during COVID because we have 35 hotels in our city in 11 square miles. We are one of the largest tourism tax generating districts in the entire state. Just little old College Park. You know, there's Atlanta, Savannah, Cobb County because of the Braves, and then it's pretty much us. And so we need to make sure that our workforce is tailored to the needs not only of the hospitality community, but the needs of, say, the FAA, which has their regional headquarters in our city. Chick-fil-A also calls College Park home. We have a huge presence with Cisco and Buckhead Beef. So we are very, very excited about partnering with Fulton County Schools because they are doing a middle college concept in College Park, 2 doors down from our city hall. And it is a program that allows students to achieve their high school diplomas in 2 years and then work with Atlanta Tech in their final 2 years of the high school experience to come out with certifications. And we are very excited that those certifications will align with the needs of our business community. So kids who are graduating come out ready for work, ready to earn at very solid wages and hit the ground running to be members of our community.
If you're a business considering relocating to the area, you might be interested in knowing that the population of 14,000 is not an indicator of the size of the city and the impact in the community. I wondered if you might address that as a element in the total equation.
Absolutely. Our daytime population is well over 100,000 people. I often say when I talk about our city that for a city of our size, we really do punch above our weight in terms of our impact, not only to the South Side, but Metro Atlanta and the state as a whole, because of the fact that the airport is within our city limits. We just have so many opportunities and resources that most cities of our size can't offer. And there's just a ton of potential and great chances to really have the chance to establish your business here and grow it from a workforce that is energetic, enthusiastic, and ready to deliver.
Also, it's important to note that you might be interested in knowing, if you're considering relocating a business, is that they have not had a population decrease. And if you go back in the research, you'll see at one time the population was 20,000, now it's 14. But there is a reason. People are not leaving College Park. That is not the reason. I wondered if you might just address that, please.
Absolutely. The 6 West development is where we had a large swath of our population that was moved out because of airport expansion. And that's where you see the numbers dip in the census data. But it is not indicative of a mass, it's not a mass exodus from the city voluntarily. If not for airport expansion, we would be right at those numbers and certainly north of it by now.
You're expecting that population to increase, and you might want to just touch on the comprehensive plan, just to talk about how that addresses population growth.
Absolutely. We understand the need in our comp plan for additional housing stock, because right now we have about 75% of our residents that are renters. And so we are actively working to improve pathways and access to home ownership. A new development just had their ribbon cutting a couple of weeks ago, and we anticipate 300 new single family homes right off of Herschel Road. And as I said before, the 6 West development will also incorporate additional residential properties. And most of those are going to be single family, but we're also going to be having, there will also be attached townhomes and additional new multifamily as well. So we recognize not only the need for growing our population, but making sure that we've got the housing stock to support that. And that is most definitely a part of our comprehensive plan.
You have 4 recreation and cultural arts centers, the Wayman and Bessie Brady Rec Center, the U.C. Conley Rec Center, the Tracy Wyatt Rec Center, and the College Park City Auditorium. What are they pretty much well attended, and how do they impact the value of the community as a place to live, work, and play?
I would say that our recreation and cultural arts program is second to none. The access that people have, no matter where they are in their ability, age, it's just unparalleled. I'm lucky enough that the Conley Center is right around the corner from my house, so I'm usually there most mornings to get a good start on the day and get my workout in. But it is busy from morning until night, whether it is seniors doing various classes or kids doing gymnastics. We have something for everyone. We had a new rock wall installed at the Wyatt Recreation Center on Godby Road. And so kids who may not have ever thought about climbing and rock climbing as a sport that they could engage in now have that opportunity, because we had a upwards of a $70,000 investment from Adidas and others to make that happen. And so it's very exciting. But we have so many recreational opportunities here that often goes overlooked, except families know it. They absolutely know it, because they are there all the time and engaging in various types of activities for their kids.
I have so many questions. I know we have. I know you're busy, and I only asked for 30 minutes. But I wanted to just touch on one thing too. Is you have your own power company there too, which is pretty unique. Tell us a little about how that works.
We are part of the Municipal Electric Authorities of Georgia, 49-member co-op that is a source of our power, and it gives us some flexibility that other cities do not necessarily have. And especially when things go wrong, we are able to be very, very responsive. Our residents often say, my lights went out, and literally in a matter of minutes, the power company is there, because we are able to respond in a way that larger companies cannot. And there are challenges with it as well, but I think overall it gives us a leg up. And for businesses that are looking to relocate here, it's a different level of service than you would anticipate from other providers.
Well, the average sales price, as I mentioned, is up 14% year over year for your city, but for this compared to 2.8% for the metro area. That would seem to be very interesting information to investors. How would you, what would you say to people who are considering investing in your great city?
Well, we love to see investment of various kinds, but we're also working to promote avenues to home ownership, and it has been a challenge, especially south of I-20, to balance the influx of institutional investors with people who want to purchase that first or that second home in College Park. So there are opportunities here, and we absolutely welcome investment. We are also looking very closely to make sure that those avenues to home ownership for individuals are also supported as we move forward.
Land opportunities. Are there any opportunities to invest in land?
Absolutely. Our development authority handles that. Clearly, College Park, if you Google them and take a look, we've got some interactive information that people can see the land that is available in the city. And if folks want to build here, we've got the space.
It's quite valuable because I do focus on, I'm a commercial agent with KW Commercial, and I do focus on land and others, but land that close to downtown is pretty nice opportunity for investors. Well, thank you, Mayor. We appreciate your time. I know you're extremely busy, but we do appreciate your coming on the show, and we have a lot of interesting things going on there that will appeal to a great many people from a lot of different vantage points. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, have a nice day, Mayor, and thank you for listening. Have a nice day.